Religion in America, why the study of it matters. This is a look at America's ongoing struggle for religious freedom. The struggle for freedom from oppression based on religious affiliation has been going on since the beginnings of our country and is still going on today. It can be seen mirrored in other struggles as well, such as freedom from oppression based on race, gender, or sexual orientation. Knowing where we came from can help us know how to get where we want to go. Freedom of religion is one of the most important, if not the most important, founding principle of our country. Having said that, what freedom of religion means has been debated from the beginning up until today. People have argued for, bled, and even died for each American's right to practice religion in their own way. This includes the decision to not have or practice any religion at all. When the Spanish conquistadors came to the New World, they were persistent in their views that Catholicism was right and vastly superior to the Native Americans' more accepting forms of spirituality. Many years of torturous conversion methods were unjustly suffered by the Native Americans before they pushed back against the invading Christianity. Many died needlessly on both sides. History is a learning curve. Know where you have been to know how best to go forward. John Winthrop wanted freedom for people to worship, but only his way, and his way only. People like Roger Williams and Ann Hutchinson refused to allow the establishment to tell them what to do and believe. Without the brave people that have stood up before, we would not have our current understanding of religious freedom. They gave up their homes in the New World to fight for the right to believe and speak their own minds. Freedom and the fight for it is a repeating cycle. A group decides that they are no longer satisfied with the unjust status quo and makes a stand for change. This happens repeatedly and continues to happen today. Know where you've been to know where to go. Many people from many ethnic and socioeconomic backgrounds have engaged the fight for religious freedom. Slaves such as Sojourner Truth, free blacks such as Joanna Lee, white educators such as John Thomas Scopes, who risked his standing in the community, his honor, and his livelihood to teach evolution in school, contrary to the Christian dictates of the Bible Belt where he resided. President Thomas Jefferson, who said, "Religion is a subject of which I have ever been most scrupulously reserved. I have considered it a matter between every man and his Maker, in which no other, far less the public, has a right to intermediate." Many American presidents throughout history have been of either undecided, unspecified, non-existent, or non-popular religious affiliations. Some presidents, like Thomas Jefferson, came with a strong belief system, but that system was not popular with the vocal majority of the time. Or Ike Eisenhower, who had no real stance on religion until he took office. To Ronald Reagan, who used his stance to help him garner the oft-silent religious vote, but in the end failed to produce results that appeased them. Denominations like the Methodist Church, with their roaming preachers, helped religious freedom spread in the vastness of the new country. This allowed people to know and understand that the small established churches in their towns or areas were not the only flavor of religion to be had. Part of the freedom of religion that makes America so unique is knowing that there are a myriad of ways to practice religion. Remember, a lack of options is not freedom. Despite the passing of many years and much improvement, the struggle for religious freedom in America is real and exists today. While studying religion in America, you learn that the majority of the early struggle was inter-Christianity, or the conflict between different Christian denominations. Today, ignorance and intolerance causes problems still. Most notably in our time is the conflict between Christianity and Islam. These two religions, along with Judaism, are collectively called the religions of the book and have a common foundation. Sadly, the differences are often exaggerated and misunderstood to the point of conflict. While Islam versus Christianity is prominent, there are many players in the struggle, from Buddhism to Hinduism to Satanism to spirituality to atheism. These are just some of the different belief systems struggling for a place at America's religious table. Just as each new person coming to America changes and is changed by our society, so too are the religions that reside here. Traditional Catholic nuns are recognizable the world over. American nuns, however, are vastly different in appearance to accommodate Americans' unique mindset. Like Catholicism, Judaism has an American spin as well. This is not to say that we don't have traditional Orthodox Jewish people in America. It is simply more common for Jewish people to blend in, appearance-wise, letting their faith be professed in actions and during their worship. By educating ourselves, we gain understanding. George Titania told us that history that is not remembered is doomed to repeat itself. Ignorance, intolerance, and hatred are not the American way and have never lasted for long. By studying who and what has come before, we can understand what has and has not worked before. That understanding can be used going forward in dealing with conflicts of today and tomorrow. To study religion in America is to study a beautiful yet complex mess. Nowhere else in the world will you find so many different people practicing so many different belief systems. This has produced conflict and struggle since the beginning of our country. But, as with other conflict involving intensely personal expressions of self, religious freedom has seen an ongoing process of resolution. The study matters. Remember, know where you've been to know what direction you want to go.